the plans are beginning to form here for Mania 5 in many respects. Namely, the Mega Powers will have an issue here that will start their breakup and lead them down the road to the main event, too, where Savage will accuse Hogan of having lust in his eyes for Liz, which is a hilarious line. Ted, this is a year-long storyline with these two. It's finally starting to come to a head. What's your take on super long storylines like this? Good stuff, or should angles be reduced to something like 6 months at a maximum?
Well, it just depends on who it is.
Mm.
And I would say it depends on the talent and are they capable of keeping it going. And if they're capable of keeping it going and keeping the interest of the people, will go. It was like one of the things I was that started happening that I didn't like was there was like some of the storylines were just too short.
Mm.
It's kind of like I don't know. You could back in the territorial days, man. You get a heel that could come in, and he would rule the roost for a long time. I mean, it was it would take a long time to get to that place where you have the big blow off, if you know what I mean.
And to your point, it's you had been paired here with Hercules, and now like that's essentially over after this. Hercules is moving on out to I don't know what, and I think you're going to be moving on to Brutus the Barber Beefcake for Mania. So it's like, you've got a really short storyline where Hogan and Savage have been building this thing for a year, and a lot of fans, Ted, consider this Mega Power storyline the greatest storyline in the history of wrestling. We've talked about a lot of your stuff over the years and over the course of the podcast, and some of your great storylines. Objectively, do you feel that the Mega Power storyline is the greatest storyline ever told in wrestling?
Well, gosh, I don't know. I mean, it was good. Obviously, it was good, and it was financially good because it worked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the greatest angle of all time. How do you do that? I don't even know what that would be. So
it's a tough question to think about the greatest storyline of all time. When I asked Jake that question, he was like, "Oh, I don't know what there's so many. It's hard to even kind of consider it.
So many different things we did."
Right. So and I don't know. I'm gonna give it.
It's kind of like let's go back to Mid South and who's that in the gorilla suit?
See, now that's good stuff. That's an underrated storyline. I can't wait for us to talk about that. We will, folks, coming up sometime soon.